Welcome back to Prime Health Lab, the place where we take your health seriously, but we also keep things real, simple, and actually useful for your everyday life. Today's video is one I've been wanting to make for a long time. Not because sciatica is a trendy topic, but because I keep hearing from so many of you in the comments, in messages, saying things like, "I can barely get out of bed in the morning," or "I stopped going on my evening walks because the pain just takes over." And that honestly breaks my heart, because that kind of pain doesn't just affect your body, it steals your independence. It changes your mood. It makes you feel older than you actually are. So today, we're going to talk about one specific pressure point, located right on your foot, that has a fascinating connection to sciatica pain, and I'll show you exactly how to use it. But I also want to give you the science behind it, because I believe you deserve to understand why something works, not just be told to try it. You're smart. You've lived long enough to know the difference between a gimmick and something real. So let's get into it. Now, I want to start differently today. Instead of describing sciatica the usual way, I want you to think about something for a moment. Your body has a highway system. Imagine the busiest highway you've ever seen. Lanes running in every direction, traffic moving constantly, signals coordinating everything. Your nervous system is exactly that. And the sciatic nerve? That's your body's longest and widest highway. It starts in your lower back, travels through your hips and buttocks, and runs all the way down each leg to your feet. Here's the interesting part. This nerve is not just a single wire. It's actually a bundle of 5 nerve roots coming together from your lower spine. And when any part of that bundle gets compressed, irritated, or inflamed, the signal traveling down that highway gets disrupted. That disruption is what you feel as burning, shooting pain, numbness, or tingling, sometimes in your back, sometimes in your leg, sometimes all the way down to your toes. Now here is a fact that most people don't know, and I think it will change how you see this. The pain you feel in your leg? It's not actually originating in your leg. The leg is just where the signal ends up. The real problem is often happening much higher up, near the spine or deep in the hip muscles. Think of it like a phone call with bad reception. The conversation is breaking down at the tower, but you hear the static on your end of the line. Sciatica works exactly like that. Your leg is just the receiver picking up the static. This is also why simply rubbing the painful area rarely gives lasting relief. You're treating the receiver, not the tower. And that's exactly what makes today's approach so different and so interesting. So let's talk about the foot. Specifically, a point that connects back to that highway we talked about. There's a field of medicine that has been practiced for over 2,000 years, originally developed in China, and now supported by a growing body of modern research. It's called acupressure. Now I know some of you might be thinking, is this science or is this something else? That's a fair question, and I respect it. So let me give you the science. Your body is covered in nerve-rich areas called dermatomes. Each section of your skin is connected to a specific spinal nerve. The sole of your foot, the heel, and certain parts of your toes are directly mapped to the same nerve roots, L4, L5, and S1, that make up the sciatic nerve. This is not ancient mysticism, this is basic neurology. When you apply pressure to these specific areas on your foot, you are essentially sending a signal back up through those same nerve pathways. And that signal can help interrupt the cycle of pain. There's also something called the gate control theory of pain, proposed by scientists Ronald Melzack and Patrick Wall back in 1965, and it fundamentally changed how we understand pain relief. The theory explains that your spinal cord has a gate that either allows pain signals to travel up to the brain or blocks them. When you apply pressure or stimulation to certain points on the body, you can actually close that gate, meaning fewer pain signals reach your brain. Fewer signals reaching your brain means less pain. This is the same principle behind why rubbing your elbow after bumping it actually helps. You're not imagining it. The pressure sends a competing signal that partially closes the gate. Now, with the sciatic nerve, there are specific points on the foot where this effect can be remarkably powerful. The point we're focusing on today is called bladder 62 or BL-62 in acupressure terminology. Now, don't let the name confuse you. It has nothing to do with your bladder. These numbering systems were developed centuries ago based on energy channels. But what matters to us today is the anatomy. BL-62 is located just below the outer ankle bone, that little bony bump on the outside of your ankle. If you slide your finger directly beneath that bone, into the small hollow or depression you find there, that is the point. This location is significant for a very specific reason. The peroneal nerve, one of the main branches of the sciatic nerve, runs right through this area. It wraps around the outer side of the knee and travels down toward the ankle and foot. When you apply firm, steady pressure to BL-62, you are directly stimulating tissue that is anatomically connected to the sciatic nerve pathway. Multiple clinical studies on acupressure for lower back and sciatic pain have reported measurable reductions in pain intensity after consistent stimulation of this and neighboring points. The Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine, along with several peer-reviewed pain management publications, have noted acupressure's ability to reduce pain scores in patients with chronic lower back and nerve-related leg pain. So this is not something someone made up. There is a real physiological reason this works. Now let's talk about exactly how to do this, step by step, so you can try it right now. First, find a comfortable place to sit. A firm chair is ideal, somewhere you can easily reach your foot without straining your back. If reaching your foot is difficult, you can cross one ankle over the opposite knee, which brings the foot much closer to you. Take a moment to relax your shoulders and take a slow, deep breath. That breath matters more than you think because tension in your upper body actually increases the perception of pain. We want your nervous system calm before we begin. Now locate that outer ankle bone. Run your thumb or index finger underneath it, not on top, but beneath it, until you feel a small, slightly tender indentation. That tenderness is actually a good sign. It tells you the nerve pathway is active in that area. For many people with sciatica, this spot feels noticeably more sensitive than the same spot on the other foot. That sensitivity is communication. Your body is telling you something is going on along that pathway. Once you've found it, apply firm but gentle pressure using your thumb. Not so hard that it's sharp or unbearable. Think of it as a 6 out of 10 on the pressure scale. Comfortable pressure with intention. Now hold that pressure and begin to make very small, slow circular movements, about the size of a pencil eraser. Keep breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Do this for 60 seconds on one side, then switch to the other foot and repeat. Many people begin to notice a warmth or a subtle release along the leg within those 60 seconds. Some feel a slight tingling that moves upward toward the hip. That is the nerve pathway responding. Others feel a general softening of the sharp pain. Everyone's experience is a little different, and that's completely normal. Your nervous system is unique to you. For best results, do this twice a day, once in the morning before you get out of bed or shortly after, and once in the evening. The morning session helps prepare your body for movement and reduces that stiffness and pain that so many seniors experience first thing in the morning. The evening session helps your body calm down from the day's activities and supports better, less disrupted sleep, because sciatica is notorious for waking people up at night. Here's something else worth knowing. This technique becomes even more effective when combined with slow, controlled breathing during the session. Here's why. Your vagus nerve, which is the major calming nerve in your body, is activated by slow exhalations. When the vagus nerve is active, it reduces inflammation throughout the body, including in nerve tissue. So those slow breaths you're taking aren't just relaxing. They are actively helping reduce the inflammation that may be aggravating your sciatic nerve. Your breath is medicine. Don't rush it. Now I want to talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough when it comes to sciatica in seniors, and that is the emotional weight of chronic pain. Living with this kind of pain day after day is exhausting in a way that goes beyond the physical. It affects your confidence. It can make you feel like your body is working against you. It can quietly lead to feelings of frustration, sadness, or even anxiety about the future. And those emotional responses are not weakness. They are the natural result of living with something that limits you. What I want you to know is this: the body and the mind share the same nervous system. When you take even one small action to help yourself, like pressing this point on your foot, you are doing something powerful beyond just the physical relief. You are telling your nervous system, I am taking care of this. I am not giving up. And that message has a real effect on your stress hormones, on your pain tolerance, and on your overall sense of well-being. Small actions build momentum. Momentum builds hope, and hope is genuinely healing. So please don't underestimate what you are doing when you try something like this consistently. You are not just pressing a point on your foot. You are engaging with your body in a positive, intentional way. And that relationship between you and your body matters enormously at every age, but especially now. Let's also talk briefly about what you can do to support this practice and make it even more effective over time. Hydration is one of the most overlooked factors in nerve pain. Your nerve tissue requires adequate fluid to conduct signals properly. When you're even mildly dehydrated, nerve sensitivity increases, meaning pain signals travel more aggressively. Most seniors are chronically mildly dehydrated without realizing it because the sensation of thirst diminishes with age. Aim for small sips of water throughout the day, rather than large amounts at once. This keeps your nerve tissue consistently nourished. Gentle movement is also incredibly important. The sciatic nerve, like all nerves, thrives on movement. Prolonged sitting compresses the piriformis muscle in your hip, which in many people sits directly on top of or around the sciatic nerve. When that muscle tightens from inactivity, it squeezes the nerve like a clamp. Even standing up and gently walking for 2 to 3 minutes every hour can significantly reduce that compression. A simple forward lean while seated, just letting your upper body drop gently toward your knees and holding for 30 seconds, can create just enough space in that area to relieve pressure. Warmth is also your friend. Applying a warm towel or heating pad to the lower back or outer hip for 15 minutes before your acupressure session increases blood flow to the area, relaxes tight muscles, and makes the nerve pathway more receptive to the pressure technique. Cold works differently. It reduces inflammation more acutely and can be used after activity if the pain flares up. Alternating warm and cold is actually one of the most effective at-home strategies for nerve-related pain management. Now, I want to leave you with something to think about before we close out today. There's a quiet strength in choosing to understand your body rather than just suffering through what it's doing. Millions of seniors live with sciatic pain, believing it's simply what aging feels like, that there's nothing to be done, or that the only option is medication. And while medication has its place and should always be discussed with your doctor, the truth is that your body has an extraordinary capacity to regulate pain when you know how to work with it, not against it. The foot point we talked about today, BL62, just beneath your outer ankle bone, is not a magic cure. Nothing honest ever claims to be. But it is a real, science-supported, nerve-connected technique that can meaningfully reduce pain, improve your mobility, and help you feel more in control of your own body. And feeling in control? That changes everything. Try it for 7 days. Be consistent. Morning and evening. 60 seconds each side. Combine it with slow breathing, stay hydrated, Move gently throughout your day and pay attention to what your body tells you. You may be surprised at what begins to shift, not just in your leg, but in how you feel overall. If you found this helpful today, please give this video a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this information. And if you know someone who is dealing with sciatic pain, a friend, a spouse, a family member, please share this video with them. You might give them something they've been looking for. Leave a comment below and tell me, have you ever tried acupressure before? Or is this the first time you're hearing about this approach? I read every single comment, and I love hearing from this community. And if you haven't subscribed to Prime Health Lab yet, now is a great time. We're here every week with honest, research-based, senior-focused health information that respects your intelligence and supports your well-being. Naturally. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the next one.
Prime Health Lab is dedicated to men's internal health. Don't forget to like